You hear the screeching of an owl, you hear the wind begin to howl. You know there's zombies on the prowl. And it's terror time again. They've got you running through the night. It's terror time again. And you just might die of fright. It's a terrifying time.
Are you looking for more fort mods? More bases in your life? Just big sprawling complexes? You need more places to go in general? Well, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Fort Rock Ridge mod by Mylu. But before we dive in, I'd like to thank Katophoenix for her lovely artwork. I'd like to ask y'all to support the content. Now let's dive in, shall we? Before we get too deep in this mod, first thing I want to say is, I like the fact you can't spawn here. This place is placed between Ekron and Riverside, so you'll have to travel there. This place is also fully modeled on the in-game map, so that's nice as well. And I'd also like to point out that this mod is a work in progress, so it's likely to be subject to changes and additions. Now let's start with the central bit of the map so far. That being what I like to call the admin and the barracks building, as it's two buildings with a catwalk connecting the two. Each building has a hangar or garage style entrance, as well as normal doors, and each garage has a fairly large supply of hardware and some military goods, as well as clothing and weaponry. The admin building has a lot of office supplies and a damn nice break room, as well as a small armory on the first floor behind a locked door. Lure some zombies in for a key and boom, we have access to everything. Now the barracks building has a bunch of rooms on the second floor for living in, as well as a cafeteria and a kitchen, with the first floor having a rather large garage just packed full of hardware supplies and goodies, as well as quite large hangar doors. Speaking of hangar doors, the two main hangars here are also used to store large amounts of hardware and guns. So if you need some pew pew, this is a damn good place to go. One small criticism I'd levy against many of the buildings is that none of them have bathrooms, which would definitely be a good thing to add, especially to the barracks building. I do like the fact that the hangars have extra large hangar doors, larger than usual, which would be great for some of the larger vehicle mods like some of the tanks or tankers. Now let's move on to the next section, shall we? I'm not even entirely sure what this area is. Like, it's definitely some sort of living area. Feels like maybe an officer barracks or even a commander's post. It's certainly nice. I'm just not sure what it's supposed to be. It's got two large spacious bedrooms, a very large lounge area and library, two garages, a medical ward, a laundry room full of clothing. It's not the hospital, as that's in the central part of the mod. It's even got a full workout room, which is really good if you use the mods that add functional treadmills and dumbbells. Hell, the place even has rooftop access with a few large rain collector barrels and a couple of generators as well. Honestly, it's probably a fantastic place for you to base up and secure. There's even a good sized armory on the first floor with some comfy couches too, that also add some extra sleeping areas. So overall, I'm not sure what the hell this place is, but it's nice. Now this is a proper large hospital with 4 floors, 5 if you count the little bonus one with a staircase up to it on the rooftop. There's a lot to see and loot here, or even base in if you're looking for a place for a large group can take and live in, especially if it's packed to the gills with rooms and beds. If you're looking for medical supplies, you're also going to make a bank here, as there is a large amount here you're probably not going to run out in a normal playthrough by yourself. There's also a fairly good supply of food and drinks here, given there's a convenience store inside the hospital, as well as a good-sized kitchen and cafeteria. And speaking of drinks, I found where the modder put all the bathrooms. There's bathrooms all over the place, which means there's water sources for days here. And with a large rooftop with plenty of space for a garden and rain collectors if you happen to run low, there's even an area with a helipad here, which if the Blackhawk modder could figure out how to make it properly change elevation, you'd be able to land here, maybe destroy ground floor access and use the heli as your main way in and out, which would definitely be cool as hell in my opinion. There's 3 bunkers scattered around the map. 2 of them serve as armories, with one of them having military cots inside if you're looking for a nice place to take a nap and be surrounded by guns. These 2 are located by the eastern entrance to the base, but the third one is more interesting, as it's not locked behind normal shutters, but instead those gates that you see on gun stores and such. So the only way you're going to get in is to smash your way in. This one's a bit cooler though. It has a kitchen, a couple of offices, another small armory, and a goddamn nuclear missile silo. That's right, this place has a fucking missile silo, which is definitely pretty cool looking. The last time I saw one of these was actually in the Eerie Country mod, and either way, these little bunkers definitely look nice, they blend into the scenery well, and they're pretty cool to seek out. Honestly, they could make a pretty nice base point if you need one. Just bring some beds, some generators, and you've got yourself a nice little base. There's also 2 fields in this base that have military tents. With 12 military tents in total, there's a decent variety of loot of use to the wandering survivor. The eastern field has 5 barracks style tents, aka cots and lockers. Be sure to pay attention though, the mod maker was sneaky and hid the footlockers under the cots, which is a logical place to put them as it would save precious space in the tent. And the last tent on this side is a mess tent, so there's picnic benches all around with a handy water cooler if you're looking for one of those. The western field has the rest of the tents, one of which is absolutely massive and just packed full of guns and ammo. One's a mess style tent with only a couple of benches and tables, and another mess style tent is set up like the eastern fields, so it's got a bunch of picnic tables and another water cooler. And the last 3 tents are more barrack style tents, so get out there and loot up, there's plenty to grab here. Now, I can't cover a large base without telling you how to get in now, can I? There's 3 gates around the entire complex, one to the east, one to the west, and one to the south. Each point has a watchtower nearby, and 2 of the 3 have gate shacks. And each entrance is also entirely barricaded off. So to get in, you're going to have to either smash your way in via the gate or fence, or I suppose you could build a staircase and walk way over it. This might be an ideal solution if you want to make the entire place completely impregnable to zombie assault once the interior is cleaned out. Speaking of, the western gate leads to a road that has a small isolated inland island, so if you destroy the road or block it off, you could use this island as your own small base as well. Chop down the trees, build yourself your own little tiny fort. Go nuts and have fun. The possibilities are endless. I didn't want to cover absolutely everything. There's a few more buildings I didn't cover, like the shooting range. And given that this is a work in progress mod and there's already this much good stuff here, I look forward to seeing how Milu managed to expand this mod and make it even better to explore and play. I like the aesthetic, I like the style, and it's quite a large and expansive area. If I was to make some balance suggestions, I'd say maybe tone down the amount of ammo spawns, especially as real life military posts lock their weapons and ammo into unit centralized armories, at least on the post I worked at before. Still, I'm a fan of the base designs. It's looking pretty good, and it's definitely a lot of fun to play and explore. Good work, Milu. Before I go, I'd like to thank you all for watching the video and supporting the content. Be sure to like and subscribe for more if you enjoyed. I'd also like to thank the members seen on screen for their support. This has been Core, and I'll see you next time.